Hi everybody, welcome to Lunchtime Live. I'll wait a couple minutes for everybody to get here. It's a nice sunny day. It's a little bit foggy and cold at the coast, but not too bad. Can everybody hear me? Hi Patricia, give me the thumbs up if you guys can hear me. You never know when I'll forget to turn the camera on. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about orange-crowned warblers. And they are spring migratory birds. Is everybody? Hi Wendy, just waiting for a few more people to join us. My name is Robin, and here at the Tijuana Estuary, I am the volunteer coordinator. So when all this COVID stuff is over, you guys be sure and come in and do some volunteering. Hi Cindy. Okay, well I'm going to get started. Today we're going to be talking about the yellow-crowned night heron. Did I say the yellow-crowned night heron? The orange-crowned warbler. I'm distracted because there's something kind of going on in the background here. Hi, Anne. Anne's one of our volunteers. Okay, so let me show you guys a picture of the orange-crowned warbler. I'm here in a favorite habitat of theirs. This is our willow habitat. It's got willows and cottonwoods and a little urban riparian area. This is the orange-crowned warbler. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that pretty good. They are small birds. They're tiny. They're about 4.5 inches, and they're this olive green color typically. But here in San Diego and in California, they're actually brighter than olive green. I have one in my yard and it's almost a lime green. The brightest color is going to be underneath their tail. They have a couple of yellow, it's a little bit yellow under there. And you can hardly see it in this picture, but they have kind of a white partial eye ring. They have short wings and they have short tails that are squared off. So when you guys, if you're new birders, that's one of the great things to look at is the shape of the tail, not just the size and the color, but also their beak, because their beak is going to tell you what they eat, and what they eat is where you're going to find them. So I'm not going to tell you guys what they eat just yet. You guys have to guess. They have little tiny pointy beaks. So think about that. Orange-crowned warblers are found throughout North America, except for the central states. And they are migratory. So in the winter, they will go to the southern states, or they will go into Mexico and then come back in the spring. However, once again, San Diego's a little bit different. We have such a great climate that sometimes they stay here year-round. And I have one in my yard that seems like it's always there. The females and the males look pretty much the same. You're probably starting to wonder why they're called orange-crowned warblers. And I didn't mention this. It's because you're never going to see it unless they're threatened or they're in a territorial dispute. I have actually never seen the orange-crowned, but they're cute little birds. Their habitat is really varied, and you're going to see them maybe in the forest, the sage scrub, or your backyard. And also where they are. They might be up high in the Torrey pines, or they might be down low foraging in the bushes. And here, like I said, they like the willow trees. And one of the reasons, well, now we're going to get into their feeding. And they use their eyesight and their smell to forage. And they are omnivores, which means that you guys were all a little bit right, no matter what you said. However, 90% of their diet is things like ants and beetles and spiders and flies and caterpillars. And especially when they're feeding their young, because they like that extra protein. Now, 10% of their diet is seeds. If they're near woodpeckers, they might eat sap. They can, with their pointy beaks, poke a hole in the base of a flower and get the nectar. And they also like, you know, fruits and these are galls, willow galls. I guess that's the better side. Can you guys see it? Those are willow galls, and they eat those. One of the reasons that they like the willows is because they don't have any natural defense really against insects. So there's a lot of insects here. You know, it's a great place because there's the tall trees, and there's also foraging, you know, in the bushes below. And sometimes if we get a little trickle of water through here in our urban riparian setting, that can attract insects as well. So this is a good place to view them. As far as courtship, they start coming if they have migrated in late winter, and you know, they're courting until the end of April. And the males start singing to attract a mate, and while they're picking their territories. And the way that their little courtship dance is, while he's singing, he's got his head pointed to the sky, and he kind of splays out his tail and droops his wings. And if the female likes him, she'll mimic that. And the kind of weird thing is that they sing until, you know, until they've got a mate, and then they're monogamous, and they only have one brood, and they don't sing the whole time that the female is making a nest. So they're really quiet until the nest is made, and then they start singing again. So come April, May, they're nesting. That's nesting season. So the female chooses the nest. Hold on, you guys, I gotta get a drink. The female chooses the nest, and she also builds the nest. And the nests are on the ground, or they might be in sort of the lower bushes. So they're not up in the treetops, they're down low. The eggs they usually lay 3 to 6 eggs, and they're kind of a whitish cream color with reddish brown splotches on one end. And the female will also incubate the eggs. So what does the male do? He's out defending the nest. And they do put up with other birds nesting pretty near them, like other warblers and song sparrows. So they're not too, you know, too feisty. And the other thing is that once the babies are born, the male helps feed them. So they both feed the babies. The babies are born I can never say this, altricial, which is means they're helpless. You know, their eyes are closed and they're just have down, not feathers. In about 13 days, they will fledge, so it doesn't take them too long to grow up. And they're kind of not the best flyers at first, so you might see them on the ground. The parents will help feed them for a while till they get better at flying. Now, their predators tend to be things like scrub jays, cats, you know, Cooper hawks, the usual, except because they nest on the ground, they could also be, you know, have rats and gopher snakes and stuff like that bothering them. But in general, in terms of their conservation, they're of least concern, because part of the reason is they have such a varied habitat and such a variety of things that they eat. And usually the things that become endangered have a very tiny niche, you know, just a few things that they eat, maybe even one thing, and one place that they live. So the orange crowns are in pretty good shape. Let me make sure I told you guys everything. They're omnivores, they're monogamous, they might be year-round or they might migrate. Yeah, I think that's it. So I don't know if you'll ever see the orange crown, but just remember these pointy beaks, that means primarily they eat insects. And they are really beautiful. They're much brighter than this in California. So, does anybody have any questions about the orange crown warblers? I see John and Cindy. I don't see any questions. Well, thank you for joining us today to talk about the birds and see our beautiful willow part of the reserve. Next week is going to be about a plant, so I'll save that for a surprise in case we change our mind or anything. All right, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.